Hello there, everybody. I hope you're doing fantastically well today. I'm not doing so bad. The Morgan Spice had a good night's sleep, although anger was to be had having discovered what I had done to the houseplant. In any case, today we're going to be continuing our 30-day world, well, my 30-day world to be more exact, with the following question. What organization or faction is the most feared and reviled? Wanting to give two examples of both a reviled and a feared faction, although they do have both of these elements are contained within both and many other factions within my world. The first is actually going to be considered of the feared kind. This is a group of people within the 5 Free Cities setting, and they are called the People of the Plains. These guys originally come from an old D&D game that I ran, where they were basically shifters. The player character who really wanted to play them really had this very distinct idea of what a shifter was, and so I kind of let him run with it, and through that we managed to develop this idea of the shift reservations, an area of land within the 5 Free Cities which no one of the 5 Free Cities can actually lay claim to. To attempt to do that would be to incite the ire of the People of the Plains, or as they are more colloquially known outside of the 5 Free Cities area, the People of the Land. These people are a group of greatly unknowable, kind of mysterious people from the point of view of the, shall we say, 5 Free Cities folk. They are people who live in antithesis to the way that the people of the cities live. They do not, for one, live in an organized city with a structured hierarchy. They are different in shape and size, and in some cases skin color, eye color. They have many physical differences that set them apart. They seem to have their own system and culture, different cultural norms, which make it very difficult for somebody to develop a rapport or a relationship that stretches beyond the perfunctory. And above all else, they seem to have a distinct and complete disdain for the otherwise perfectly logical idea that you should be scared of a storm. This is very strange to the People of the Plains. The idea that you would be scared of the storms. If anyone were to ask about it, as some party members have asked recently, the People of the Plains do not give an adequate response. They just say that the fact that you are afraid makes the storms as bad as they are. It's not really made clear. This is yet again another mystery that I put forward to the party. Originally, very clearly, anyone who's kind of got an interest or any knowledge of history or basic narrative conceit and trope use, originally these guys were defined as either being Romani, Bedouin type people. Now, the reason that I came up with that, and then I changed it from there, from that initial position of, in the original setting, they had this situation of they were having their land, the shift reservation, was shrinking because slowly the city was encroaching more and more. Originally, I was just leaving it to the original player who wanted to play this kind of character. However, as I have gotten older, the trope that he wanted to put forward, which is known as the noble savage. I mean, it's an alright trope, but I didn't like using it. I didn't want to continue to use it. I felt that it was maybe overused or just not really what I distinctly wanted. As a result, I kind of replaced that idea of their shift reservation shrinking into actually being that the shift reservation could actually be from any direction. It can be any area that is not controlled by the cities. As a result, there is this more, shall we say, more stated contrast between the city and the wilderness. Two themes which I put forward as being some of the major The second group is actually one of these 5 free cities. It is considered to be a city that was once an incredible powerhouse. It was the major trade center of the land. It was where the largest collection of work, academics, learning used to be. But as time has gone on, and really the storms have changed the world in a drastic way, more and more this city has lost a lot of its luster. As a result, people have left, people have died, the city has gotten actually smaller and smaller. Rather than leaving the city, abandoning it, and possibly reusing like other lands that could be more beneficial to the people, some decide to stay, trying to keep what areas of the city alive to the best of their ability. This city is called Meridian, and its nickname, its name that it is most often recognized for, is known as the Husk City, a city that is gargantuan, almost mountain-like in its capacity to have been built upon the corpse of its older versions of itself. As these versions of itself are built higher and higher up, it slowly and slowly creates this gradation of rising up further and further and further, until eventually, basically, it starts to collapse in on itself. As a result, there are entire swathes of the land where literally roads sinkhole into themselves. And this happens on a regular basis. This is the most reviled land because, honestly, it is this perception that people have of the people of Meridian being considered, shall we say, upper class, being considered pretentious. These kind of ideas, this kind of concept of they believe that they are the greatest because at once upon a time, according to them anyway, they were, and now they're in their time of decline, but yet they still put on these airs, they still hold on to the noblesse oblige. As a result of this, I get this very, very evocative image that I have of this just rotting city, this city that is in the process of falling into itself. And the noble houses that run the city are continuously in this grand royal. Something that is very different from it, however, is seemingly how they are able to continue to exist despite the fact that their city is almost completely ruined. And the other members of the free cities don't particularly find them as a particularly good ally to have around. They do not supply the best weapons, they do not supply the best armor, they don't have a good army, they do not have any of these different things. However, for whatever reason, it seems that the political parties in this land have able to maintain as many as they can of the backdealing and backsliding and dark deals in order to keep things going. Even then, even when those things fail, the Husk City continues to breathe despite its rotting heart. In any case, guys, I really hope you enjoyed listening to this. I was having a bit of difficulty writing it, namely that I was trying to write it. I also received an interesting message from a member of in the comments, kind of mentioning the idea of possibly including some kind of music, some kind of jingle or something like that. My big problem is that I'm worrying a lot about whether or not my sound is getting shot. And as a result, I'm a bit reticent about it. I probably will do it later. I do hope that you enjoyed it, and by all means, please put down in the comments below any kind of compliments, criticism, any your opinions. How do you feel? Rather than taking it from the questions itself, try answering this question for me. What faction in your world is the most lauded and beloved? Also, thinking of it in a more linguistic manner, my world of Talum does not have a word for hours. They have no idea of time because basically there's no way of regularly spanning time. They have no word for hours. Are there any words like that for your world? Do they have no idea about the colour blue? Or maybe they don't understand the concept of fire because they live in an aquatic land? Send me your thoughts, and I'll be seeing you guys tomorrow. Ciao! Oh yeah, this is a bit embarrassing, but thanks very much, everybody who subscribed. Pass it on to your mates and everything. Things have been going very well for me. I've really enjoyed making these videos. And honestly, I want to keep doing it. So yeah, next time, guys.